Alright guys, welcome to another segment of my next video. As you know, in my last video, I did the unboxing of the hoverboard, and I said in my last video that I might do a review on it. So here I am. It's been a few days, and I'm here to do a review on the hoverboard. So if you can see it, it's right over here. Okay, that's the hoverboard right there. I've been riding it for quite some time now. Since my last video, after I signed off, I just hopped on the board and, I just kept riding it, and believe it or not, it actually took me under 10 minutes to actually learn this thing. About between 5 to 8 minutes at the least. Hold on, I'm just gonna set the camera down. Yeah, so between 5 to 8 minutes that I learned how to do this thing, and it's going really well, actually. I'm gonna be honest, I did not even take it outside yet, because I wanted to get the hang of it inside first, before I can, ride it in public. The last thing I want is to ride it out in public, lose my balance, and fall on my face, and look like a total idiot. So, nobody wants that. So, that's why I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna get the hang of it in here, and then go outside, and then when I'm ready, go outside, take it into public, and ride it out in public. But yeah, soon I'm gonna be riding it in public, because I've gotten the hang of it so much now. Before I start this review, I noticed something on the hoverboard. It's, you know how if you go on the hoverboard you have two light indicators. One of them is the battery light, and one of them is the sensor light. I noticed when I was riding it I think it was, I don't remember when, but I remember one time I was riding it and the battery light was green. It went, and then next thing you knew, it started blinking. Like, it was green, but it started blinking. And then from there, it turned red, and it started beeping. So once again, it went from green to blinking green to red, and then it started beeping. I panicked at first because I was just like, you know what the hell is going on? I don't wanna, break it or anything, because, I paid a lot for it. The least I can do is, take good care of it. And I'm trying my best to take good care of it, actually. But yeah, it went from green, and then it started to blink. The battery light was still green, and then it started to blink, and then it went to red, and then it started beeping. So again, yeah, I panicked a little bit. I panicked. I didn't know what it was, and then so I googled it up, because when my hoverboard came in, it didn't come with the instruction manual, which sucks. But I had to Google it up because I didn't have the instruction manual. I had to Google it up, and I found an article. Well, not really an article, but it was a page on the internet that said, for some models, not all models, for some models, the battery light will go from green to blinking green, and then to alarm red, and it's gonna start blinking or beeping or whatever, similar to what happened with mine. And if, according to the web page, if that happens, just charge it. So that's what I did, and I charged it yesterday and tried it out after, and everything's like working good now. So my guess was, when the green battery light blinked, halfway, started blinking, my guess was, the battery was halfway. At least I hope, keep my fingers crossed, I hope that's the case, because I know when the battery is 50% done, it will go from green to yellow. But on one website that I read, it was saying for some models, it would go from green to blinking green, and then to red to alarm, and then the alarm will go off, and it's gonna start beeping or blinking or whatever, and then you'll know that you need to charge it. I know for a fact that when it's red, you gotta charge it. That I knew for sure. But I just didn't know what that green blinking light actually meant. But I guess that pretty much means the battery is halfway. At least I hope that's the case. Another thing I noticed on my hoverboard is when the battery goes halfway, it doesn't turn yellow. The green light, battery light just starts blinking. Like I said, again, I hope that's the case. But anyways, yeah, so that is problem solved. That part of the problem is solved. So now on to the review. Just give me 1 second. Let me get my hoverboard. Okay. So when I got my hoverboard, I didn't actually ride it outside like I mentioned. I'll tell you why, because I was not only busy practicing inside and getting the hang of it, I was taping it up. And by that I mean taping up the bottom. As you know, the hoverboard is scratch resistant, meaning like it could get scratched when you're riding on the pavement or gravel or whatever. And like I said, I like to take good care of things, especially when I paid a lot for them. So the first thing I did was I taped up the bottom of the hoverboard, and I'm going to show you right now. I'm just going to bring the camera down here. Now, as you can see, okay, I taped this side up. I left the power switch and the charging cable open because I need that, but other than that, I taped up the bottom here too. I also taped up the side here as well. As you can see here, also I taped up the side here as well, because the padding tape that came with it, it kept coming off, so I just had to tape that down. You might notice other YouTubers say that when this thing rolls, it rolls like this, and that's how it gets scratched on the pavement or gravel or whatever. So that's why I had to tape up this side. I had to tape up the entire this side of the board. I did not know. I couldn't decide whether to use regular tape or foam tape. but ultimately in the end I went with regular tape just to see how it works out. Hopefully it works out well. With foam tape, I know a lot of YouTubers, when they use foam tape to protect their hoverboard, foam tape, ultimately I was going to go with it. Excuse me. I was going to go with the foam tape, but then I realized if I were to ride this thing in the rain, and I have foam tape on it, the water's gonna soak up the foam, and then it's gonna look really ugly, and then, you know, and not only that, but with foam tape, I don't want to put foam tape on here and then a few days later, a couple weeks later, I decide, oh, you know what, I want to remove the foam tape for whatever reason, and then when I peel it off, then you're gonna have all that what you call it, super glue, residue, sticking around on the board, and then it's gonna look really ugly, and then it's, you know, I can't be bothered with all that. That's why I just decided, you know what, I'm just gonna use the regular tape first, see how that works out. So yeah, so just because I don't want my hoverboard to get scratched or anything. Like I said, I like to take good care of things. So this, like I said, I've been riding it for quite some time now. It took me about 5 to 8 minutes, just a little under 10 minutes to get the hang of it. My sister actually tried riding it. It took her a longer time to actually ride it. So I mean, I remember she was holding my hand the entire time she was on this thing. It took her so it took a longer time to ride this thing. For me, it took me a little under 10 minutes to ride this. What do I think of it? I think it's a great piece of technology. I think it really is. Could there be room for improvement? Definitely, you know. Could there be, could we see something like this more advanced in the future? For sure, you know, because, you know, it's technology. You know, the world of technology is revolving every year, and every time, you know, they're trying to take technology up one level, one notch up. So, of course, yeah, we'll see more of these things, more advanced in the future. Is this worth every penny? Yes, it is. It is worth every single dime. This is better than my last purchase I got. My last purchase I got was, I'm sorry if I'm getting off topic here, but I want to compare this to my last purchase, because my last purchase I got was the remote control Millennium Falcon, sponsored by Air Hogs. I don't know if you guys know that. It's based on the new Star Wars movie that's coming out, which I'm definitely going to see in theaters, by the way. But yeah, I spent like almost $160 on it, and I brought the thing home, and it didn't even fly, like, at all. Like, I was so excited. I remember buying that thing, and I brought it home, and I opened it, because it was brand new in the box. I opened it, and the Falcon was made out of foam. I thought it was made out of plastic, but turns out it was made out of foam. Okay, fine. So it was made out of foam. So I got excited, and then I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to get the batteries. I'm going to put the batteries in the remote. And by the way, you need 6 AAA batteries to put this thing in the remote control. And as I was putting the batteries in, I was already making the Millennium Falcon sound effects. Sorry for being a geek here, but I was pretty much geeking out on the Millennium Falcon, and I was already making the sound effects for it. And the moment after I put in the batteries in the remote, you know, I was getting ready to lift off, and the moment I try to have that thing fly, what happens? It doesn't fly. It does not fly. It does not it just rolls on the ground. Like the propellers, all the propellers, the four propellers, it would start up, and then instead of taking off like in a vertical, straight up position, it would just go like this. It would just flaunt like this. Like it would just flip flop on the ground, and I thought, okay, you know what, something's wrong with it. And then like within a few minutes later, the fucking thing wouldn't even turn on. Like my Millennium Falcon, remote control Millennium Falcon, didn't even turn on. So I'm like, okay, like what the fuck, man? I'm like, come on, you know, I paid a lot for this, and you're telling me it doesn't even turn on. So I thought maybe, okay, you know what, I have to maybe I have to exchange it for the same one. So the next day, the following day, I should say, I went back to the store, I exchanged it for a new one, and I came back, and it was back to square one. It just flip flopped, and I was just like, you know what, fuck it, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna just return it, I'm gonna get my money back. And after I got my money back, I was thinking to myself, you know what, it was the worst $160 I ever spent. So note to self, okay, note to self and note to everybody there, okay, do not buy those remote control Star Wars toys, okay, whether it's the Millennium Falcon or the Starfighter or the Starfighter X-Wing, okay, do not get those, okay, they're all sponsored by Air Hogs. Do not get those, because you're gonna get fucking ripped off, okay, because it happened to me. I got fucking ripped off, and I was upset, because I'm a Star Wars fan, and I was looking forward to building that thing, or to flying that thing, and it doesn't even fly. It just fucking flip-flopped all over the floor, and it wouldn't even take off. Few minutes later, it broke. Didn't even start. So I was fucking pissed off. So I ended up returning the thing and getting a refund for that. So anyways, what I'm trying to say here is, between that purchase and the purchase I bought for the hoverboard, this one, my purchase for the hoverboard, is a lot better. It was worth every dime. It was worth every penny. And I'm enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it. I just keeping my fingers crossed, you know, that it does not give me any problems at all. Because all I want to do is just enjoy this thing. All I want to do is just enjoy and have fun riding my hoverboard. Is that so hard to ask? Okay, the least I can, the problems that is the least of my concerns right now. But overall, it's really fun to ride. It's addicting. Let me just say, the moment you step foot on the board, it's really addicting, and you're just like, oh, you know what, I don't want to get off. It's too much fun. Blah blah blah. And yeah, so it's a good piece. It's a good item. It's a good purchase that I got. And it's one hell of a good item too. Out of 10, what do I rate it? I rate it a 9.5 out of 10. 9.5 out of 10. Why? Because like I mentioned earlier, there can always be room for improvement. And the thing I like about the hoverboard is the wheels on the hoverboard. It's made out of solid rubber, so you don't have to worry about getting a flat tire. The only thing if I were to like make improvements on the hoverboard, it would be making the tire able to get up and down on curbs. Also, I would make the paint job non-scratch resistant. Those are the only two things if I were to make changes on it. Where did I get the hoverboard? There's a bunch of places where you can get it. I actually got mine, like I mentioned in my last video. If I recall, I got mine straight from China. There's different ways you can get it from. You can either get it from Iohawk, Funky Duck, Monorover, Segway. is another website I think you can get it from. Amazon, eBay. So a bunch of places where you can get these things from. Alibaba is another one you can get it from. Just a heads up, IOHawk, or if you were to get it from IOHawk or Funky Duck, it's more expensive. So my suggestion would be to get the same thing from a different dealer that works just as good, but for a lower price. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna. Who in the right mind will spend like $2,000 on a IOHawk? You know, when they can, like, why would I want to spend like that much money on IOHawk, or go on Funky Duck and spend that much money on a hoverboard on a Funky Duck or IOHawk, than when I can get it for at a much lower price. I actually got mine for $300, 300 something dollars, and it works really good. It works really good. It works perfect, and I love it. And I cannot stress how many times I can say that I do love this thing, and I do have fun with this thing, and you know, I cannot be any more addicted to riding this thing. I actually got mine off of eBay, because I actually when I was doing my research, I was looking up which was the best places to buy. So this is where I give my heads up to all people, living in Canada. If you're living in Canada and you're trying to get one of these hoverboards and you want to get it from IOHawk or Funky Duck or, you know, Whizboard or whatever, just so you know, these guys don't ship to Canada. It's only within the States. I know for a fact that Whizboard, they don't ship to Canada. They ship within the U.S. I'm pretty sure IOHawk and Funky Duck ship within the US as well. They don't ship within Canada. I've seen a lot of YouTubers say that they got theirs from Amazon, but I'm like 90% sure, like, it's probably Amazon.com, not Amazon.ca, because I went on Amazon and these things are fucking more expensive. They're like about $500, $600 on Amazon. That's the Canadian version of Amazon, Amazon.ca. If I were to go on Amazon.com, it would take me straight to Amazon.ca because I live in Canada, and yeah, so it would take me to Amazon.ca. So for those of you who live in Canada and trying to get one of these things, my suggestion would be either to get it off of eBay or Best Buy. That's right, you could get these things from Best Buy, but it's online only. If you were to get these things from Best Buy, they're about $1,200–1,300. I don't know how much is it in the U.S., but here in Canada, you can get these things for about $1,200–1,300 at the most. But like I said, you have to get it online, and online only. That's if you're getting it from Best Buy. I tried actually going on Alibaba to get one of these things. Apparently, I had to sign up create a profile, and when I was creating a profile, it asked you for all your information, and then after I filled up the obvious ones, I came across this one part while I was filling up, registering for a profile on Alibaba. I came across this one profile that's one little section that says company name, and I was like, fuck, I don't own a company. And I was stuck. I was like, shit, I don't own a company. what the fuck I'm supposed to put under company name? And then I thought, okay, you know what, I'm gonna skip that, because I don't own a company, so I'm not gonna put anything there. And then I realized I couldn't skip it because it had the red star beside it, so it was mandatory that I put something down there. So I'm like, you know what, forget it, I'm not gonna go through all that, waste my time through all that. I'm just going to find another place where I can buy it off of, find another dealer where I can buy it off of, who I can buy it off of from. The thing, another heads up I want to mention is, make sure you guys do your research. If you guys are planning to get these hoverboards, make sure you guys do your research. Make sure you guys, read the reviews. Before I actually bought my hoverboard, I actually had to not only do research, but I had to read the reviews as well. I remember going on Amazon, because a lot of YouTubers say that they got theirs on Amazon, so I went on Amazon, and this is not the US version of Amazon, it was Amazon.ca, and excuse me, and I went on Amazon to check these things out, and on the Canadian version of Amazon it was more expensive, and the reviews, I'm just going to tell you right now, the reviews on Amazon were bad. They were bad. People were complaining, they were dissatisfied with it. People were saying things like, oh, you know what, the charger is in Chinese, I have to, or it doesn't turn on, or, the battery dies out after 2 hours, or, you know what, it doesn't, it doesn't go uphill that well, or, or it's defected, blah, 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 all these things, and, you know what, I knew right away that, it's not a good choice to get it off of Amazon. So for those of you in Canada who are planning to get these things, don't get it off of Amazon, because you're just gonna get fucking ripped off. I don't know how, I do not know how it is in the US. If you order these things off of the US version of Amazon, I don't know how good they are, but this is just from the Canadian version of Amazon. So this is for all you guys living in Canada, who want to get one of these things. Just my suggestion, don't get it off of Amazon, Amazon.ca, because you're just gonna get fucking ripped off. But at the end of the day, you know what, it's up to you guys. I'm just here to give out suggestions, based on my research. Yeah, so anyways, those are just some of the places where you can get it from. If I don't know if you guys know this, but with the battery in here, it takes about 1-2 hours to charge. Usually I tend to overcharge things, with especially my cell phone. I tend to overcharge my cell phone, even though it's fully charged. My cell phone would just remain plugged in the outlet. With the hoverboard is different, because I got a really good tip when I was doing my research. It was some guy who on YouTube. He was mentioning that, if do not overcharge your hoverboard, because it could potentially damage the battery. So if the hoverboard takes about 1-2 hours to charge, just keep it within the time limit. What I usually do is I set a timer on my phone. So as soon as that timer runs out, I just go and I unplug it. because I don't want to, you know, take any chances. I don't want to take any chances and overcharge this thing, and then, you know, I get all these problems. But yeah, it's a great piece of technology. I'm glad that I actually got my hands on one of these things, because I am loving every second of it. But yeah, this is the bottom line is just have fun with it, guys. You know, if you have one of these hoverboards, just have fun with it. At the same time, just take good care of it, because, like for example, like, I didn't even ride this thing outside. I had to tape it up and protect it first before I could even ride this thing outside, because I've watched enough YouTube videos to know that it could get scratched. So that's why, as soon as I got it, I just, like, you know, I better tape it up and protect it. But aside from all that, just have fun with it, you know, enjoy it, have fun with it, you know. At the same time, like I said, if you have a hoverboard, just take good care of it. You know, it can last. You can go a long way with it. You can go actually a really long way. I don't know if I'm gonna be, well, I might make another video, or I don't know, we'll see how it goes. But when I ride this thing in public for the first time, I might do another segment, just to get people's reactions. Or maybe not, we'll see how it goes. But until then, this is my review on the hoverboard. I apologize if I got a little off topic with the whole remote control Star Wars thing, but I was trying to compare that purchase with my purchase for the hoverboard. So I hope you can all understand. Yeah, please feel free to comment, rate, okay? Oh, and if you guys are having the same problem, if you guys own a hoverboard, and if you guys are having the problem where your battery goes from green to blinking green to red, and then it starts beeping, if you guys have any, if you guys know what that means, let me know in the comments below. I would greatly appreciate it. Because, like I said, all I'm trying to do is not only have fun riding this thing, but at the same time, I'm trying to take really good care of it, and you know, this will, by doing so, this will hopefully last me a while, a long time. But anyways, thanks guys for tuning in. Sorry for rambling so long, but just thought I, you know, give my review on it, and because it's a really cool item, you know, that I got, and I just thought I'd give my review on it. And yeah, so I'll see you guys in my next video, maybe when I take my hoverboard out for the first time and ride it in public. I might or might not do a segment on that. We'll see how it goes. But until then, thank you for tuning in. This is Comic Book Guy, and I'm signing out.